Good afternoon, everybody. I am sorry I'm late. I can't find, I saved too much junk and I cannot find like the intro or the outro. And I hear my voice talking. Oh my gosh. Can I shut up? Oh, this would probably do it too. No, I don't know. But hi, guys. Sorry. If I don't use, oh, I could try my split screen, but we'll see. That'll come later. Right now, I'm still using my phone to be able to like respond to you guys if I'm doing something on the other page. But good afternoon. Happy New Year. Yeah. We're 9 days in, but it's my first time being live, so happy New Year. And hope everyone's doing well. I've been sick with the flu. That sucks. So I hope that all of you are staying safe and healthy. Trust me, this influenza A variant is not a joke and you don't want it. Unless you want to like have the worst horrendous pain. Uh-oh, I've got a cat that is trying to break into my room. And he normally succeeds. And we'll see what happens. But, um, oh my gosh, my head hurt in a way I don't know it ever has my whole life. And I was wrapping my head in blankets trying to get cushion. I debated, like, am I going to have to go to the hospital and have part of my skull removed? Like, it just felt that much pain in my brain. Oh, it was awful. Awful. Couldn't even speak words. It was so bad. So, bear with me if you forget stuff more than usual. I mean, I scroll a lot, but anyways, hope you're all healthy though. Jeffrey, hi, sir. Happy New Year. So good to see you. Hey, Queen Bella. Good afternoon to you, ma'am. Spitfire, how you doing? Oh, so I've Spitfire. I obviously know you're Pookie. I've stayed in rebellion. Like I'm not going to call you Pookie. I'm not going to conform. But who knows? Maybe one day I will. But either way, it's a very cute nickname. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. I think I have to write back to you. I may have. I'm likely haven't though, 'cause I'm the worst at getting back to people. So I apologize if I didn't, and I will check when I get off here. But great to see you. Happy New Year. Nicole, Happy New Year again, ma'am. Hope you're doing well. Hi. Actually, I had seen you weren't doing super great for a little bit either. So I hope you're all right. Better? Better is better than not. So I really hope you're doing good. Hey, Laura. Hi. How you doing? How's it going? Have you seen this one? Ick. Absolutely icky as ugh. I so listen. This takes you down. This case that we're talking about. It took me into dark places I didn't ever want to see. Okay, I could imagine it would exist. Groups for like selling allegedly skeletal remains. Part of me is like, majority of them are probably bogus and not real, but I'm not completely ignorant. I based off us and all the things that we cover, I think we all recognize that it's possible. It's very possible that people may have real remains. So I did a case, obviously a couple years back, and they were taking remains from a university that people had donated their organs and remains, bones, whatnot, for research. So I don't know if any of you remember that one. So we've covered things like this before. It also reminds me of the Colorado funeral home, which there are some updates on that. I'm actually working on like a concept of how to go through some of these updates, all of these updates that we have. So we're getting there. But yeah, that one, if you remember, was over 200 bodies found in the funeral home. People had been given back what was supposed to be the cremation of their loved one. They're like, I don't even think it's human. I don't think it's a remain of anything. I think it's like cement, sand, dirt, whatnot. Or if they were given back remains, they don't believe it was their own loved one. Speaking of, there was a case, I have not been live, so I didn't get to talk about it, but of a family who had, it was in New York State, I believe, and they had a missing sister, loved one. Then they were told that her sister was deceased and she had OD'd and was deceased and what have you and what have you. And nope. Fact of it, no, she wasn't. she wasn't deceased. She was alive. They did end up locating her. Um, so whose body was that? Who did they give? What? What in the world? Again, I'm all about respect for victims, survivors, and their loved ones. And I can't imagine the kind of trauma knowing this case here that someone went in and stole the remains of your loved one. What in the world? The man's a sicko. So we're going to get into it. Um, no, I've been wrapped up in. Oh, yeah, Nick Reiner. Oh, yes. I've been following that too. Oh, man. I just saw TMZ, like 41-minute something came out today that I have to watch. However, I will say, I suspect my opinion for anyone that's following that case that the shocking reason that most people would be shocked by of why he stopped medicine, the doctor stopped his medicine and changed it to something different, even though those meds were working. My guess would be possible of erectile dysfunction or just inability to get an erection, because that would seem like shocking to probably a lot of people. It's like, are you kidding me? That's why. But it makes sense how that could be a very relevant reason and problem and issue for said person that may be experiencing that. So anyway, we'll see what it comes out. I'm very curious. But yeah, I've been following that too. I believe it happens more than people think. I think so too, Laura. I think so too. Both my mom and brother were organ donors, but they never kept and, kept and cremated them. They paid no attention to back of drivers. Really? See? In like Colorado's funeral homes, they're able to refuse at that time an inspection. Like if anyone asks and requests to come in, they have the right to say no. I don't know. There's just laws lacking and a lot that needs to be done. A lot. So this man right here, Jonathan Gerlach, is the man that we're talking about. This photo here is actually his Facebook profile picture. Whether or not that skull is real or not, they're not sure yet. They don't know. However, you're going to hear a lot of dates and a lot of numbers, so be prepared for that. I don't. I got a lot of questions over the fact that they know, at least as of Halloween of this year that just ended, is when he for sure began. He has remains from at least Halloween, and then he was arrested in the beginning of January. So 2 months, he was able to collect these many bones and skeletal remains. It's, oh my gosh, awful. And it's all because there were cemeteries and places that were suspecting some type of break-ins that were taking place, or robberies, because they could see that there was some disturbances. And so they kind of went with their gut on it, like something's not right here. Sure enough, just wow. But the part I think I'm even more wow by was the research following this, and I'll show you that after we learn the initial details. And there's also been an update. It's probably just been over an hour now that here I can actually I'll share that one with you right quick, just so you kind of know where it's at. But I'm also gonna figure out how to use StreamYard because I feel like I've never seen it in my life. All right, so let me show you this. All right, so Savannah is this lady's name. She's a journalist. So now it's been, well, this isn't updated, but when I saw it, it was 52 minutes, just over an hour. New disturbing information. A man arrested for allegedly stealing more than 100 human remains from crypts and graves and storing them in his basement has also admitted to selling some of the remains, which we suspected and questioned and wondered. But so 34-year-old Jonathan Gerlach faces more than 500 charges, including abuse of a corpse, after police caught him in a cemetery with a bag of bones and a crowbar, then discovered the horrific collection in his basement. He's being held on $1 million bond. Search warrants state that a tipster directed the detectives to Gerlach's Instagram account. Detective said his account was following, quote, an abundance of accounts referencing skeletal collecting corpses taxidermy, human skull store, oddities, and bone museums, which that's what I was going to say. For me, the disturbing part further has been finding these groups on Facebook and they're allowed to exist and be there, and how many people really have this interest. It's yeah, not to mention the photos and things. It's a lot. Investigators also say that Gerlach's Cash App profile picture features someone holding a skull in front of their face. I mean, we just saw the one. Tell me I got that picture up. I'm an asshole. Sorry. My bad. I hate me. Oh, and yeah, my screen. I don't know how to fix that. It's all right. I'm reading to you. Just listen to my words. So anyway, he reportedly told detectives that he sold some remains online, but that the vast majority of them were in the basement of his current residence. Keep in mind, I mean, so Laura's saying 800 charges. It's crazy. Crazy. Some of them were like hanging in his basement. So when they're like, well, we don't know what the reasoning for it was. Was it just for, I forget, we're going to hear it. Where you try to get the benefit of the doubt. I don't think you can give the benefit of the doubt here. So, anyways, yeah, it's what I'll say trigger warning. I'm not going to put it across the banner, but like, obviously, based off the thumbnail and the title, I think people can get, you might see some things that might be disturbing. So at the bottom of this one on the left here, I'm sure it's so hard for you guys to see. Can I zoom or something? I mean, I don't know how to work this monitor with StreamYard. I have no idea. Did that help? So it said, mail call, yet as always, LOL. Got a possible teen now in the collection in a baboon, and a monkey that was part a human skin bag. Thanks. And they thanked him, Jonathan. And we have learned that he had some children, remains of baby. One was an infant, but there were children, little babies. I just, hey, B, good to see ya. I'm not even sure what I'm listening to, but it doesn't sound great. It's not good. Not good. Um, yeah. Happy New Year, by the way. All right. Well, then I don't know what's going to happen when I show you guys a video. Who knows, y'all? We're just going to test it and hope for the best here. All right. That's what we're going to go for. Huh. I don't know. Let's see. If we share this instead. Now what do we see? Oh, yeah. We see a screen looking like garbage. Well, that's good. Good for me. Yay. Should be able to shape this different, eh? Maybe? We'll listen to her, and I'm going to see if I could shape this in a way that maybe we could see it. No promises, though. Unfortunately. Listening while cooking. Oh my gosh, I don't know. You might lose your appetite a little bit, maybe. Oof, I don't know. But I hope not. Proves I never had the best taste in men. Why? Did you say you thought he was kind of attractive? This is scary. Dark hair, dark eyes. He would have been so my type. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to disagree. Some of his photos and whatnot, he looks like a pretty decent looking guy. I mean, we never know what is in the minds of others. It's really stinking scary. All right, how's that? Oh, that fixed it a bit. I love that. All right, here we go.
Now to Delaware County, where investigators say a horror movie came to life. Authorities say they uncovered at least 100 human skulls that were stolen from a graveyard. And tonight they announced an arrest in this case. Action News reporter John Paul live for us now in media with the questionable details here, but how this all unfolded, John.
Sure, I mean, they're working that out right now. Not only skulls, but full skeletons from 200 years ago, some not as old, children, adults, everything in between. They just revealed the details. And I also want to show you something here. These are the files, the charges that have been filed in this case. This is how many we're talking, 500 plus.
That's wild. Right? That's longer than, I don't know, whatever receipts are shown online on YouTube. Oh, wait, none get shown anymore. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Just being a smart ass, my bad. But that's crazy. When you've got to tape together page after page, I mean, and look at the writing. There's so many charges. And in my mind, I can't help but when I think of 100 actual, like fully human, that they know for a fact right now, human remains, I can't help but to think of that's 100 families and all of their loved ones. I, I, wowie.
We're talking abuse of a corpse, burglary, theft, all sorts of charges, and today we learn the details.
It is truly, in the most literal sense of the word, horrific.
Horrific details tonight on a suspected grave robber in Delaware County. Police say 34-year-old Jonathan Gerlach's home was filled with skeletons and other items stolen from cemeteries.
All right, don't judge me off that. I'm not saying he looks great there, okay? So don't be haters about that. That's not what I'm talking. I'm talking is like other photos. So take it easy on me.
The district attorney's office says he broke into mausoleums and grave sites multiple times at Mount Moriah Cemetery in Yeadon since Halloween. He was arrested January 6th at the cemetery. Police say he had a bag stuffed with human remains of children and skulls and had more bones in his vehicle. But that was the tip of the iceberg. When investigators executed a search warrant on his home in Ephrata, Lancaster County, they found well over 100 skeletons.
Detectives walked into a horror movie come to life the other night, guys. This is an unbelievable scene. Understand, some of these are 200 years old, some of them obviously much newer. There's one that had a pacemaker still attached to the bodies.
Police believe the remains were taken from cemeteries throughout the region. They also confirmed this Facebook page is part of the investigation titled Human Bones and Skull Selling Group. Gerlach is tagged on the page. His profile picture shows him with a skull.
Okay, so when looking today, I don't particularly see him in the group. He may have been kicked out of the group, quite possibly. I'm not for certain on that. Perhaps it just didn't pop up, and I'm not going to say I was like thoroughly must find him on this group, but I believe them that he was, obviously. I mean, we could see that. However, I mean, we'll get there. We'll get there. Hey, pretty eye. I saw you come in. Good to see you. Happy New Year. Hope it's starting out healthy for you. Everything's going well. B said, I hope I don't lose my appetite. You might. It's okay if you gotta go. I get it. I don't blame you. I've been looking forward to this. Oh, yeah, don't ruin it. And cheddar broccoli delish. Yeah, don't ruin that. Strong stomach, though. Okay. There is somebody outside playing something way too loud. I don't know what it is. Something from their car that they're blaring. It's not music, though, I don't think. Sounds like someone talking. Mind-boggling. Yeah, right? Right. Right. Okay, so Laura, you ask, is this a new hobby? You can't imagine. I don't know. And how can you be so good so quick? But that was the point of why I showed you that picture. I forgot to take that. I'll probably forget it again because I'm really good at this YouTube stuff. But see this? When he posted this as the profile picture on Facebook was September. Again, maybe it's not a real one. Maybe not. However, let me take that down first before I go anywhere, or I will forget. Let me show you this right quick, and we'll go back to the video. Man, where did his account go? I don't even know anymore. I have so many things open. Where is this guy? Oh, way over here. Here you go. Let's take a look at this right quick. So this was June 5th. It's probably small. I'm sorry. My thing is so annoying. I don't know how I'm going to fix it, but I will. I assure you I will do my best to fix how this layout looks. But he put June 5th of this past year. Still alive, life has a way of drop kicking us into change. Huh? Now living alone in the mountains, riding Harley, and slinging skulls. What? So, I mean, if he's already talking about slinging skulls in June, perhaps the particular sites that they found he broke into, trespassed, and robbed from being in Pennsylvania, maybe those began Halloween. Perhaps he did this other places. I don't know. More is coming out. Did I ever finish reading from that one? Yeah, I did. About her saying new details are coming out. So it's like, oh, they have so much that they're still investigating. I'm not going to be shocked if perhaps hundreds more charges come down on him. But that's just me in my suspicion on it. Queen Bella, this is so disturbing. It is. It is. Cash, hey, good to see you. Happy New Year. Ed Gein only killed one person. Jimmy had a glass eye ring. Glass eye ring. See, and a lot of us would think that's fake. We would see like a glass eye in a ring and be like, "Oh, that's creepy," but that's probably not real. Well, welcome to the current day where some of the most horrific things are taking place. Like if any of you have heard of the young boy missing out of Oklahoma right now, and pretty much the pieces that can be put together of the horrific acts that his very own mother and stepfather had done to him. And I'll just say by animals. It is sick. The world today, like, I cannot. I can't. And unless there's been an update, he is still missing. And so I will show you guys his photo if any of you are unfamiliar, haven't seen him, but the police believe he is alive. And so he's still missing. But yeah, so again, I don't know. We'll see how new of a hobby this. I don't know. Cash, I don't have a point to that comment really. It's okay. I don't got a point to a lot of the stuff I say. I get you. Oopsie. Don't make me call in a tip on you, Laura. Oh no. Oh no. Uh, Officer, my friend and I were watching this video, and I think she's interested in starting this. Tabby? No, no. Oh no. Oh, it's so good to see you, pretty eye. They said that he's been doing it since Halloween. Yeah, right? But like, I'm sorry, these dates are showing further back, and so I don't know. Perhaps it's in locations that they're not yet either aware of. They'll get there through their investigation, or we, the public, are just not aware of yet. I would go with the latter. That if he is doing this other places or has done it, they always know more than we do. So perhaps we just don't know yet. Cash said that he didn't kill anyone then? Not as far as we know. Not as far as we know. And that's what I said to my boyfriend. I said it's good that he's not the one that took these people's lives in his own hands. You're still taking them for a second time from their loved ones. It's a second grief. It's a second everything, plus some. I mean, the kind of like violation, like what the. You're going to hear in this press conference, they say rest in peace should be just that. So I couldn't agree more. Oh, hell, he's got a bike and the hair and the eyes. Okay, this is what I was saying, though. Yes, this is not a bad looking guy, you know what I mean? And like with a skull, you would think it's a prop. Who really is going to believe that this is a man really slinging skulls? But again, unfortunately, in today's world, we're almost going to have to start taking things at face value. I don't know. And then this photo, which is like whatever. I don't know what's going on here. Nothing. Thankfully, nothing weird. But that was August of 2020, and you can see if I go back again, this June 2025 one. A lot of people were in the comments saying, "Missed you where you been? Like it's been a long time. We got to catch up. We got to get together again. So glad to see you." So, yeah, and also I want to give a heads up too. It says here now living alone in the mountains. Well, when he's arrested, current day, he has a significant other who they won't go further on whether they're going to put charges on her or anything. She was in his home. She was in and out and walked the dog together and all the things. So while maybe she didn't go out and help him, maybe she just didn't go that time. I don't know. However, she had awareness. It said nothing. So I don't know. I don't know what can come with that. That's the other part. I was looking into these new laws that they have, or like updated ones. And for example, one of them is the Human Tissue Act. But that one is like the UK type of framework for like England, Wales, Northern Ireland, not so much America. So I didn't want to go too deep down into that rabbit hole. But there's a lot of rabbit holes to go. We'll get there. We'll get there. So let me get this guy off the screen. We'll just go back to this video right quick, finish it up, and I'll put you on the press conference.
But police don't know if any were sold or why he wanted them.
They were in various states. Some of them were hanging, as it were. Some of them were pieced together. Some were just skulls on a shelf.
Yeadon police chief says this is one of the most disturbing cases he's ever seen.
Rest in peace is rest in peace. And this is definitely something that tears at your heartstrings.
Exactly. That's exactly it right there. Like, it is a freaking violation of every single one of their loved ones. Not to, like, there's so many layers to it. There's the grotesque, disturbing part of it, unbelievable. But then you've got this, there's just the trauma, the grief, and all that's going to come with it. Whether it's, even if it's ones that, let's say it's at the graves, so there isn't a disturbance, but still you have to then go and look into all of the remains that are there, the families, and contact all of them. And then what? What? Get samples of their DNA? And then try to get DNA extracted from the bones? Or I don't know. I don't know. It hurts my brain to think about it. It's a lot. It's just a lot. But I do want to say hi, Ramblin'. Happy New Year to ya. It's so good to see you. Hope you're doing good. And Grandma Sherry, thanks for being here. Thank you so much. Happy New Year, Grandma Sherry. Still learning. It seems he started in October. Yeah, finally got caught. But still, that's so quick. This is a lot of remains for 2 months' work. I don't know.
Now, Shari, here's the other part of this story. They're not exactly sure who these remains were. They are trying to figure out where exactly they were taken from so they can also notify the family about what has happened. As for Gerlach, he has $1 million bail that he has not been able to post. We're live tonight in media, Delaware County. John Paul, Channel 6 Action News. Shari?
Yeah, the level of disrespect and disturbing in this case one.
Perfect word that I haven't used yet. Disrespect. So disrespectful. But I mean, what do you expect from someone that's willing and capable of doing something like this? Oh, no bones in soup. No, no, no. No bones in soup, please. It's a messed up hobby. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then to know he is profiting, then you're sitting. Did he literally purchase a whole Harley off of money made from his hobby? I don't know. It's just a lot of thoughts and questions, and I just can't imagine the trauma that the families are going to. I just can't. It makes me upset for them, like that people do this kind of crap. I don't know. Apparently not for me, Bella. I'm going through hell for laughing. It's fair. I giggle on inappropriate times and don't mean disrespect. Trust me. I know you're the last. No, you're good. Yes, Cash. Weird stuff. Like, do you wake up one day and say, "Let's go steal bones"? Right. Mm-hmm. Or I guess you probably start by watching. Like, look. I don't know. Maybe from like another killer you hear about, and it makes you start searching the internet. You end up following these Facebook groups, and then eventually you kind of start to learn some of the tricks of the way and say, okay, maybe I'll give it a go. I would imagine that these things don't just happen so quickly. That's why I'm having a hard time with this whole October date. Again, it might have just been those specific locations, like that area of Pennsylvania. Perhaps. I wish it would only be, but I am concerned that it's potentially other places. Is it making the cut? Sorry, I won't repeat it then. Which comment, Ramblin'? Hold up. We're going upward. Sherry. And the one where you said hi. Oops. Let me rewrite that. Okay, I didn't see a rewrite. So something's not going through. I don't know what stinking word you're using that may be blocked. I don't know what you're saying. Is there any word in there that seems like it might be like a bad black or something? Or like maybe if any mods are seeing it? Because sometimes YouTube straight blocks it, not even the mod. So I don't know. Let me check Discord and see if there is any mod that has said anything. Oops, my bad. Uh-oh. No, I don't think so. Okay. No rambling. I'd love to hear. Hey, just message me. Just shoot me a message. Tell me what you're saying. I'll share it with the class if you'd like. Because I want to hear what you have to say. Tragedy Pimps. Hey, how you doing? PPE. How's that going? Great to see you. Happy New Year. All right, ready, set? We're going to flip over to the press conference. So this is where I'm telling you, just kind of pre-prepared with the different dates, the numbers, the ages. It's just going to be kind of a lot coming at us with this one. So it's super informative already, just off the info that they have and have shared with us. Very informative, but very concerning because I unfortunately think that this is much, much more.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tanner Rouse. I'm the District Attorney of Delaware County.
I'm going to increase the volume. I'm not sure. Maybe the volume's fine. If it is, please let me know, but I'm going to guess it could be better.
We are here today because of the arrest of 34-year-old Jonathan Gerlach of Ephrata, Pennsylvania. Over the course of the last several weeks, detectives from Yeadon Borough as well as Delaware County CID became aware that from November of 2025 up until 2 days ago, January 2026, Mount Moriah Cemetery had been burglarized by, at that point, an unknown individual. 26 separate mausoleums and or underground burial sites had been torn into and, for lack of a better word, desecrated. Investigation took place. Yeadon deserves a hell of a lot of credit on this for doing good old-fashioned police work, going through LPRs, tracking physical evidence, piecing together a suspect, cooperating with CID. We developed that suspect. We laid in wait. And we eventually watched and caught Mr. Gerlach as he desecrated yet another monument as recently as 2 days ago. He was taken into custody. Search warrants were executed at his home in Ephrata, where over 100 human skeletons were recovered. And that's in part, at this point, we are still trying to figure out how many of those are complete and what exactly we are looking at. A separate storage locker was found to be in Mr. Gerlach's possession. That also was in Ephrata. We found there 8 more human remains. Very simply, detectives have recovered an awful lot of bones at this point, and we are still trying to piece together who they are, where they are from, and how many we are looking at, and it's going to be quite some time before we have a final answer.
So you see, not just the basement, but also a storage locker. Like, this man is running out of room for all of his bones? Where else could they be? And obviously, when they caught him, he had some in burlap bags. I feel like I said that word wrong, so I'm not going to say it again. In his vehicle, obviously, because he was going to take him somewhere. But could there be anywhere else potentially? I don't know. I don't know. Could there? We'll see. I have faith in their investigation, right? See, oh my God, I just said right. Let's not do that. To see if potentially there was any storage units in the significant other's name or another loved one's name or something. I don't know. There's a lot.
He is now arrested. Bail has been set at $1 million cash by Judge Williams. He is in on 26 counts of burglary, criminal trespass, and a host of other offenses. Kelly Wilson, who's handling our media affairs, is going to pass out a complaint so that you guys have the complete list of charges at your disposal. Very simply, detectives walked into a horror movie come to life the other night, guys. This is an unbelievable scene that no one involved, from myself to the detectives to the medical examiners that are now trying to piece together what they are looking at, quite literally. None of them have ever seen anything like this before. When I was 16 years old, a friend of mine was killed in a car accident, and I personally have visited his gravesite, as many people do when they lose a loved one. I know his parents have also visited that site. I cannot imagine what it would put them through to know that someone like this guy had dug up those remains and was doing God knows what with them. It is truly, in the most literal sense of the word, horrific. I grieve for those who are upset by this, who are going through it, who are trying to figure out if it is in fact their loved one or their child, because we found remains that we believe to be months-old infants among those that he had collected. So
Again, this goes back to that disrespect word right there. What is the matter in your brain? How dare you? Oh, disgusting and wrong.
our hearts go out to every family that is impacted by this. Some of these are hundreds of years old. We are trying to figure out exactly what we are looking at. We quite simply at this juncture are not able to date and identify all of them. I want to make some thank yous here because this was truly a collaborative effort. As you guys can imagine, this spanned from here to Lancaster County. The effort of the police department was instrumental in gaining access to and executing that search warrant. Philadelphia Police Department was cooperative. This is Mount Moriah Cemetery, and that spans Yadin Borough into Philadelphia. We had to have their cooperation throughout this, guys. They were. Those cases are now going to be handled in Delaware County. We've reached out to law enforcement agencies there, and jurisdiction has been transferred to Delaware County. Pennsylvania Attorney General's Office lent support throughout this process. Pennsylvania State Police, the Delaware and Lancaster County Medical Examiner's Office, who are now in possession of these remains. We thank them for their cooperation. This was obviously an overnight job. There's a lot that needs to be done to collect and humanely preserve these remains. We are working diligently to make sure that happens. The Lancaster County District Attorney's Office, the Middle Creek Search and Rescue Canine Unit, which helped us get in there initially, and the Friends of Mount Moriah Cemetery. It should be noted, this happened at Mount Moriah. Mount Moriah did everything they could to cooperate with law enforcement and keep this from happening again. This happened, as you guys will see in the complaint, under the cloak of darkness, very much secreted from public view. This guy did everything in his power to secretly and silently grave rob. Mount Moriah did everything they could to stop him from doing it. But as you can imagine, a cemetery that size, it is very difficult. We thank them for their cooperation throughout this process. I'm going to turn it over now to Mayor Rowan Hepkins of Yadin before we take questions.
Thank you very much, Tanner, District Attorney Tanner Rouse. Just want to say this was quite a heinous act, very depraved. I've never heard anything like this. It defies logic or comprehension. And as the District Attorney just stated, it's something literally out of a horror movie. When you have your loved ones interred, you respect their remains, you respect them into perpetuity, and to have this type of heinous act happen is beyond dignity or anything that we can comprehend or imagine. So this started when the Friends of Mount Moriah reached out to me, and I got wind of it that Mount Moriah is, half of Mount Moriah is on borders Philadelphia, Southwest Philadelphia, and half of Mount Moriah is located in Yadin, separated by Cobbs Creek. And I notified our chief, Henry Giamarco, who deserves a lot of thanks and praise for this. And he's
Okay, so going through chat, I just wanted to say yes. The you said you botched the mausoleum spelling, and I probably will the pronunciation. I'm great at that, but that's part of what makes it so hard. Because how are you going to know? Do you know what I mean? It's a little different than, and he did in some cemeteries too. There is this like disturbances, which at that point you could tell, okay, likely something is missing from that person's site. So that would be easier for them to be able to detect by eyesight with the digging. But yeah, the others not so easy. Not as easy of a situation. He could have been doing it longer. Right. And where did his significant other think he was at night? Right. Regardless, she had been seen in the home. She was in the home. I don't think he hit. I don't know. I have a very, very difficult time. I'll give her a benefit of doubt because that's who I am. However, you're going to hear them speak on it. And it sounds as though she was aware that there were bones being collected and stored within his, whether it had been basement, storage unit, car, we don't know. But you'll hear it's coming up here, you'll hear. And so I always try to get benefit of doubt. It's most times you get let down on that one, but just I feel that's the fair way to go. But I don't think it's looking too good for her either. She may not have participated in retrieving them, but she was aware. That's problematic. That's not okay. I don't even know if what charge could come down on something like that. I don't know. We're going to see as time moves forward. My curiosity will probably send me searching to see if there is a charge that can be put on her for, I don't know.
sprung into action and had patrols at night, detectives, and we caught him. We were on to, got some leads and involved, reached out to the district attorney, CID, and we caught him, I believe, 2 days ago. So I also want to give a shout out to the Yaden Police Department for breaking the case, the Philadelphia Police Department, and of course our District Attorney's Office of Delaware County. And we want to send the word out that you cannot come into Yaden in Delaware County and commit crimes. Okay, we'll be onto you. We're going to find you, and you're not going to be able to get away with something like this. So it could have been a lot worse if we didn't spring into action as quickly as we did. And for the families involved, they're grave sites that are over 200 years old. Mount Moriah is very historical because every war from the Revolutionary War, Civil War, World War II, and beyond have soldiers buried in that cemetery. As a matter of fact, Betsy Ross was first interred at Mount Moriah, I believe on the Yaden side, before her body was exhumed and brought back to Philadelphia in a special vault. So it's very historic, and I'm sorry that something like this happened, but thank God that we got to the bottom of it, and hopefully, and also one of the things I realized why it was an inviting target is that Mount Moriah is so open. It's hard to, it's not fenced in. There's easy access in like a million places. So it was easy to access that type of graveyard because it's just so open. But because of that, it should be pristine and kept and honored and treasured. But we have individuals today in today's world that don't respect any type of those boundaries or dignity. But I just want to thank everybody else involved at this time, including my police chief, Henry Gianmarco. I wonder if he has any words he'd like to share at this time.
Good afternoon, all. I just want to again echo what District Attorney Rouse said, and also what Mayor Hepkin said. It's important to understand the collaboration of us working together with the District Attorney's Office. They've been supportive to us, and they constantly support us. And special thanks to Detective Leah Sesnick from the Yaden Police Department, and also Detective Carr from CID. They did a hell of a job. And again, we're out there and having the support of Tanner and other local law enforcement agencies. It just shows when we break down silos, we can work together. Thank you.
If I didn't do enough thanking, I want to do one more time. Detective Sesnick, who I know is around the corner, Detective Carr, this was really excellent work. It really was. This is good old-fashioned police work to make sure we got this guy. So I'm very appreciative of their efforts, and I'll thank them again. Then we'll take questions. If you can just do me a favor, identify yourself and where you're from, just so I can get to know you guys a little bit. I would appreciate it very much. Yeah.
Hi, Anna Durante, NBC 10.
Hi, dude. How are you? Good.
So it's possible here that your detectives, your agencies didn't just crack a case that was happening in Yaden, because this does appear to be a statewide situation.
It almost certainly did not only happen in Yaden. Whether or not it's statewide and exactly what that means, Zena, we don't know at this point, but you're absolutely right. It is almost certain that this is not exclusive to Yaden.
Are you talking?
Okay, ready? Based off of that right there, and the conversation I was just having with you not too long ago, saying I suspect that this is going to range further. I was sent a link from NY, and it had to have like just been released. So let me shrink that down so I can actually use my stuff again. That would be really cool. Hang on. Hold up. We're going to, I didn't even pull it up over here, but we're going to grab it. So listen to this. They are now investigating if there's a connection because of 2 other sets of remains that had been stolen from another location. So it's what I feared. Now, and again, and I also had faith in their investigation, and sure enough, that's what they did. They looked into it. They wanted to see if there was any other reports of such kind of activity, and sure enough, there was. So now they're looking to see if there's any connection. Let me bring you over to. Why doesn't that show up? I don't know why it's not showing up. That's weird. That's weird. Please hold 1 second. I'm so sorry. Please investigate. It's right here. My bad. Sorry about that. Okay, here we go. Let me bring you over here. So just to add on to that press conference, and do we believe that this is the only location or mainly area? And here is newly released information on that very topic.
Authorities outside Philadelphia say they found more than 100 skeletal remains inside of a man's home. Police say 34-year-old Jonathan Gerlach's home in Lancaster County was filled with skeletons and other items stolen from cemeteries. He was arrested on January 6th at the Mount Moriah Cemetery in Yaden Borough near Philadelphia. According to the Delaware County District Attorney's Office, Gerlach broke into mausoleums and grave sites several times since Halloween.
Understand, some of these are 200 years old, some of them obviously much newer. There's one that had a pacemaker still attached to the body.
Police are working now to identify the remains and notify family. Gerlach is being held on a $1 million bail in Delaware County. The Yeadon Borough Police Chief confirms to Newswatch 16 that his department is working with police in Luzerne County to determine if Jonathan Gerlach had any connection to a burglary at a cemetery in Plains Township. According to court paperwork, a detective from Delaware County did an online search for any similar burglaries across the state. That's when they contacted Plains Township Police about a burglary and a theft at the Good Shepherd Memorial Mausoleum along Westminster Road back in November. Officers say 2 sets of human remains were taken from the mausoleum in Luzerne County. The investigation into whether the 2 cases are connected is ongoing.
Right? What? I think it's going to go further. I don't know. Terrible, terrible, terrible. However, Idaho squirrel attacks a burglar. I love that. I love it. And in the center is this 12-year-old that's missing. Why is my screen flickering? I don't love that. But, all right. So let me bring you, we're going to pop back over to the press conference, continue that. But there's a little bit of an answer, an extension there of what question was just asked. And it does seem it's spanning further. And I didn't send hello. Sorry, I said hello. I'm so sorry. Good to see you. I forgot to push the send button. It's not clear if there was an MO because I see us talking about it in chat and whether it could be have been sexually motivated or what's going on here. They're not even sure. And the fact that he's got it on a shelf and he's got it hanging and he's doing like an array of things and apparently selling. Sickness. There's that for sure, for certain. At this point, you can't say like it was just a form of bringing in income or it's a hobby. It is. Can't be a hobby. Not when you're going to inflict that kind of like relived grief and trauma on every single one of the whatever remain part, because we don't even, some were taken in full, some were taken in portions. Like, what a mess. Just terrible, terrible. All right, you know what? My screen didn't flip over and I don't know why. I was wondering why it's not showing. Share the tab, rewind, reverse. Don't think you heard a single dang on thing said. I'm over here talking to you about something you don't even know what I'm talking about. My bad, y'all. Listen, it's not. Your StreamYard is not like a bicycle, okay? You don't just jump back on and remember it. Or you do if you have always been a person that's terrible at putting the right screen on, but I'm normally terrible at muting. I mean, my muting's not the problem this time. Cheaper creeper. All right, are we on the right page? Yeah, we are. Look at us. We're going now. We're rocking and rolling. Here you go. Now that you listen to silence, let's try again. Remember what I just said, though. I won't repeat myself on that. That's annoying, I know. So just remember what I said based off of the upcoming portion.
of us working together with the district attorney's office. They've been supportive to us and they constantly support us. And special thanks to Detective Leah Sesnick from the Aden Police Department and also Detective Carr from CID. They did a hell of a job. And again, we're out there and having the support of Tanner and other local law enforcement agencies. It just shows when we break down silos, we can work together. Thank you.
If I didn't do enough thanking, I want to do one more time. Detective Sesnick, who I know is around the corner, Detective Carr, this was really excellent work. It really was. This is good old-fashioned police work to make sure we got this guy. So I'm very appreciative of their efforts. So I'll thank them again. Then we'll take questions. If you could just do me a favor, identify yourself and where you're from, just so I can get to know you guys a little bit. I would appreciate it very much. Yeah.
Hi, Tina Durante, NBC 10.
I do. How are you? Good.
So it's possible here that your detectives, your agencies didn't just crack a case that was happening in Dayton, because this does appear to be a statewide situation.
It almost certainly did not only happen in Dayton. Whether or not it's statewide and exactly what that means, Dina, we don't know at this point, but you're absolutely right. It is almost certain that this is not exclusive to Dayton.
Are you talking with investigators, say, in Plains Township, Luzerne County?
We are, yes, that outreach is beginning now. Truthfully, we were a little bit handcuffed because we didn't know what we were going to find in that house. Now that we are aware of the extent of what's going on, that's beginning more fully.
John Paul with 6ABC. Can you tell us a little bit more about when you found these skeletons in the house? Where were they? What condition were they in? What was he doing with them?
So, John, a lot remains to be determined at this point. They were in the basement predominantly, although, as you can imagine, with 100 remains, it was not as though they were in an isolated area. We don't know exactly what he was doing with them. Time will tell. They were in various states. Understand, some of these are 200 years old. Some of them obviously much newer. There's one that had a pacemaker still attached to the body. So clearly that's not 200 years old. We are trying to figure out exactly what went on in that home. It is still unclear, and given the enormity of what we are looking at and the sheer kind of utter lack of reasonable explanation, it's difficult to say right now at this juncture exactly what took place. We're trying to figure it out.
Did he have like videos that you guys were able to confiscate? Was he setting them up? What was he doing?
At this point, it's somewhat unclear. There were so many that they were in various states. Some of them were hanging, as it were. Some of them were pieced together. Some were just skulls on a shelf. We don't know exactly what we got, what condition they are in. We're still figuring out, does this go with that, etc. So there was no signature thing that was taking place with each of these skeletons. It was a collection. He was doing various things with all of them. At this juncture, that appears as much organizational as anything else. It's not clear there was an MO.
Okay, and one last thing. Was anybody else in that house? Was it just him at the house, or were there other people there who knew what was going on in his collection?
Mr. Gerlach had a girlfriend, it turns out, who was at least around the home.
So she could have been where you talked to her?
We at this point, where Mr. Gerlach is the one that is charged. I'm not going to say anything further in the investigation. Madam, yeah.
Hi, Madeline Wright, CBS.
That tells me something's coming down the line, if charges or even exist for such a thing, for being aware of, maybe not participating in, but being aware of. I don't know. It's sick. I don't know. I can look past so much. Give grace, understand people are different and what have you, but I'm sorry, this is not I don't know. And you all might be surprised in just how many women are also very interested in gore and similar things. It's not just men. Sometimes they find each other and they're just a perfect match for one another. And again, nothing's been said that she participated, but knowledge seems pretty clear. An accomplice? Yeah, but are you an accomplice of keeping it withheld, like private from at least law enforcement? I mean, they talked about it online. But if she didn't actually partake in taking them, I don't know.
Wait, at this point, where Mr. Gerlach is the one that is charged. I'm not going to say anything further in the investigation. Madam, yeah.
Hi, Madeline Wright, CBS.
Thank you.
A few questions. Was Mr. Gerlach stealing jewelry as well, or the remains, and was he selling any of this?
So we have now recovered jewelry. It's unclear, again, what that is connected to. We believe at least some of that was recovered with the remains. Whether that was his primary motive or not, we can't speak to at this point. We are working to figure out whether or not anything was sold. There are indications, but at this point, that's a little bit unclear.
There had been reports earlier this year.
And as I showed you the video that just recently came out, probably within the past 2 hours now, that yes, like, I mean, but again, that was another thought on it. Like, was it to try to get the jewelry that the people were buried with or laid to rest with? But that could also be kind of I'm gonna forget the name, what it's called. Y'all know what I'm saying. Um, the object taken is like memorabilia of your special act. For example, somebody that may have murdered somebody may take something from their home, some piece of something. A lot of times, it's some of like the sexually motivated ones will take like the underwear from their victim or something like that. I mean, I don't know. Could that be if he is selling the remains? Is he holding on to any part of jewelry or clothing or something that they were buried in? Is that? I'm sure one of you, a souvenir, yeah, like a souvenir. But isn't there a specific term used for I'll look it up. I'll look it up. I'll look it up because I'm drawing a blank. But yes, like a souvenir, absolutely.
Here, I believe, of other like mausoleum doors missing, things like that at various cemeteries in the area. Does it look like this is connected to that, or is that something else entirely?
It's preliminary, Alex. At this point, we don't have any indication they're necessarily connected. Certainly, we've got to run it down.
Do we know what equipment Mr. Gerlach was using to break into the graves?
There was, when he was arrested, he was recovered with a crowbar and some other pretty rudimentary items. It is not as though this was, there's no forklifts involved in this at this juncture that we can identify. It seems everything was handheld.
And how did the police become aware of this?
I don't want to get too deep into the investigation, Madeline, but actually just kind of good old-fashioned police work. They identified a suspect, identified his car, realized he started hitting on license plate readers around the time these break-ins occurred, and went from there. So it, again, started on a hunch and someone following some intuition where they very easily could have dismissed it. Instead, they went the extra mile, did some legwork, and found out that, in fact, their hunch had been corroborated by a number of factors. Obviously, it went from there, but that was the initial lead.
Was there any digging involved, or he just breaking the mausoleums?
There was some. I don't want to comment and get ahead. Some of it was underground, some of it was above ground. So there was some breaking in, and I don't know exactly, John, as I stand here, whether or not he had to physically dig or go in, but there was definitely some underground and some above ground.
Can you describe the actual arrest at all? Do you know the particulars of how that went down?
Alex, as I stand here today, Detective Carr be in a better position to answer that. It was relatively uneventful. It wasn't as though there was a struggle or anything of that nature.
Do you think more arrests could be coming in this case?
At this point, I don't foresee anything, Madeline. I don't have any reason to believe. Certainly more charges are possible. I don't know there's going to be any more arrests. Is it possible? With something of this scope, certainly. It defies any logic, so I don't want to rule anything out. At the same time, we don't have any reason to believe he was working with anyone as he was doing this at this time.
Real quick, to the Yaden chief,
Yeah.
You've been in the business a long time. You ever seen anything along these lines ever?
No. After 30 years now, I can say this is probably the most horrific thing that I've seen. And again, to the families, as the district attorney pointed out, we all have loved ones that passed. Like, rest in peace is rest in peace. And this is definitely something that tears your heartstrings, especially when you see, as he pointed out.
Period. Rest in peace is rest in peace. Period. It's how it should be. And it's so stinking disrespectful. Oh, unbelievable.
An infant, having children and grandchildren, yeah, it was definitely an event. And again, thanks to the support of the district attorney's office and the unwavering support of the mayor and and the detectives and the officers we have in Yaden, we're truly blessed to have a great team.
Understanding it's early days, but have you been able to identify any families of these remains and spoken to them at all yet?
There are the 26 specific instances, Alex, in which we are aware of where a grave was broken into. We have not been able to necessarily link those up, but we do know those are instances of specific break-ins. Beyond that, not this point.
Was it the cemetery staff who noticed that there was some damage and then contacted the mayor and then the mayor contacted police?
Yeah, the Friends of Mount Moriah, who have board members from both Philadelphia and Yaden, noticed that some grave sites were desecrated and notified the Philadelphia Police Department, Yaden Police Department through me. I'm actually on the board, and I notified our chief, and that really started the resolution of this to date.
And the 100 remains that were found, are they all from the cemetery in Yaden, or they could be from other cemeteries?
No, we believe, Madeline, they are from other cemeteries as well. We can't say for absolute certain at this point, but it seems almost certain that they're beyond Mount Moriah.
Any other reports about other cemeteries?
Of course, there are other reports out there. We have not been able to corroborate, does this match up with what we're finding? And frankly, again, like I said, I don't know that we ever will. There are other reports. We're looking into it.
How common is this?
Not very. Thank God. No, I as the chief alluded to, I can think of other instances in which we've heard of someone literally grave robbing, right? Going down there and stealing jewelry or stealing something of that nature. We've all heard of desecration of corpse cases where someone's doing something to a dead body. I've never heard of any situation. I've been this is 16, almost 17 years, where someone's stealing and collecting bones like this. This is different.
A lot of these incidents, at least the cell phone pinging, It was on Halloween. Do you have any reason to believe there's some sort of connection there? Was he using them as like Halloween decoration?
There was no evidence, John, of, as I said, anything concerted. That there just isn't anything going on in that basement that leads you to believe, okay, I don't rationalize it, I don't get it, but I see what's happening here. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of rhyme or reason.
Is he part of a satanic cult of some sort, or
Not to anyone's knowledge at this point, and certainly he hasn't given any indication of such.
There's a Facebook page of somebody with the same name, Jonathan Gerlach, and there's a picture of him holding a skull.
Yes, there is.
And part of a group that says Human Bones and Skull Selling Group. Is that part of the investigation?
It is.
And that Facebook page belongs to the suspect?
Where it's part of the investigation, we are working to confirm all that, Madeline, and what that might have led to, the veracity of any of that. It doesn't strike me as a coincidence, but we need to figure out if anything's actually happening with that, or if this guy was just taking skeletons and talking a big game on Facebook.
You talking to local medical schools to see?
That's exactly it. We always are like, I was just talking a big game. They're like trying to look like a tough guy or girl or whatever. No, unfortunately, we live in such a sick, stinking world right now. It's turning out that like these things are for real. It's real. Again, some of this needs to be taken at face value, unfortunately, and it's extremely concerning. But again, almost kind of like back to the joke made earlier, but like on a serious note, how do you call up and be like, hey, so I see this Facebook group that's like blah, 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 and they're like saying they're selling these things and stuff. Are you going to be just like, going to kind of shrug it off and it's people just saying crazy stuff? Or are they going to investigate? I mean, again, the see something, say something. Yeah, there's like things like that it almost doesn't even seem like it could be real life. There's no way. Well, fortunately, there is. The other part is, what is going on with these platforms just allowing garbage like this? Again, are they supposed to just believe this stuff is satire also? Unless or until proven otherwise? Like, I don't know, man. Unfortunately, online connects everyone to one another from all over the world. And with 764 in specific and all like networks, it is totally different. Their ability to connect and spread whatever harmful, dangerous, painful, horrific, crazy idea that they have amongst each other is so easy, accessible. I don't know. What's the answer for it? 764 has had me bothered since the very first time I covered it. I stayed bothered over that whole topic and everything that comes with it. And a lot of these big mass events that happen or what have you, based off the things I hear. For example, the one that blew up the clinic, the women's clinic that was storing eggs. As soon as the fact came out that he was in the process of setting up a video to record and then the bomb went off, immediately 764. Like, my boyfriend used to laugh at me over it till he realized, dang, you've been pretty right on every one. And I'm like, yeah, I don't just call all of them as being connected to 764. The ones in specific that I hear some of these traits, some of these behaviors, their ways of doing things, I've been meaning to cover or do another. I probably could do endless amounts of coverage on 764 and still have new information to tell you. It is out of control. It is, this isn't my opinion, it's a fact that it is the number one biggest danger to our children right now online is these 764 groups and what they're doing. It is sick what they're doing. Your child may be in some group for anything, but let's say they love to target mental health. You think you're talking to someone who also struggles with mental health. They become your buddy. Take it off that platform, normally to Discord or Telegram or what have you, but or Snapchat or something. But Discord tends to be the one more often than not. And once they get you there, I'm just gonna. I know this isn't a 764 stream, and we'll do one, but the topic really bothers me. So what I learned from a father of one of the victims, she took her life because of this group. The way that they did it, you know how like sextortion, they'll have you send a photo of you inappropriately or not completely dressed, exposing yourself. And once they've got that, now they can hold that against you in threats. Threats on threats. Well, no. What they'll do is actually send a photo of a similar aged boy, teen, or girl, whatever it seems that they're into, a naked one from a past victim to them. And their comment with it is, I sent you this. Now you owe me. They have to do nothing first to be considered indebted to these freaking monsters. The monsters will send it of another victim saying it's them. And now you owe me one in return. It's so bad. It's so bad. But anyway, different topic. Let's get back on point here. My bad. But yeah, plan on that. A 764 stream. Again, there's so much information. And I mean, I can't yell it loud enough. We all need to be telling everyone we come in contact with. I don't mean like be weird about it, right? But if you're, I just said it right again, my bad. But if you're having conversation with your doctor that's not specifically talking about your health or your, at that very moment, right? You guys kind of talk a little side note combos. I'm a talker too, but either way, mention it. Bring it. Hey, you ever heard of 764? No, what's that? Just give them, you don't know what you don't know. Just plant the seed and tell them, plead with them to please look into it. Who's going to protect our children? It's so bad. The platforms aren't doing it. So anyway, sorry. Here we go. Moving right along.
If they maybe bought any of these bones in the past year or so?
I don't know, Alex, the outreach that's happened just yet.
Okay.
If someone was buying bones from that person, is that illegal?
I have to be honest with you, Madeline. I'd have to look into it. I don't know that it would be unless they had reason to know what this was. The bone trafficking laws are new to me. Any other?
So you see that? Like, they aren't even, and it's a problem that our laws are not caught up with, and maybe pretty much anything that's happening online. But this kind of stuff, I mean, the look on his face, he's like, again, it seems so outrageous. Well, I don't know. I didn't really think we'd ever come in contact with these kind of individuals. You would need laws and charges that would fit. But there are some, and Jeffrey had mentioned a couple that were really good in regards to the significant other. So, again, I did some looking, and it was, so there's more the UK one that has to do with the Human Tissue Act. If you look up like human bone trafficking here, share this tab with you. And then you probably can't see it because my screen shape's stupid. But so in the United States, there's no comprehensive federal law that broadly prohibits the sale and ownership of non-Native American human remains. Instead, a patchwork of varying state laws govern the practice. Federal laws primarily focus on interstate trafficking of stolen goods and the protection of Native American remains. So any of you that are familiar with myself or my channel, I feel strongly about the missing and murdered Indigenous. It's a thing for me. So I'm very happy to hear this. However, you could see we're lacking just kind of collectively of what to do in a situation like this. But so there's prohibiting of like organ purchases. Federal law explicitly makes it unlawful to knowingly acquire, receive, or transfer any human organ, including bone tissue, for transplantation for valuable consideration if it affects interstate commerce. Pause there. I had read somebody that's in one of these groups on Facebook that specifically said, if you can't sell it, you can't show it on Facebook, they said you can't show it publicly, but that somehow Facebook would not have been considered public. Before I guess how it was written up, I can in fact take you and read it. In just the ways that they're trying to like work around the few laws that are there, the way they're working around it. Hold on, there's so many sites, it's unbelievable. Oh my goodness. Also, there was a woman that had posted up about this specific case, and I want to show you because they said he had been in multiple groups, right? I just said right again. My bad. Apologies. Disregard. Share this tab. So this lady, another one of our members, gets locked up January 6th. Police in Delaware County arrest. So look at here. I'll pull you down. You see they're talking about him. Right? So they arrest him. And then she kind of goes into some details. He or she, I'm assuming she goes into details and gets a little bit of the wrong, but pretty close. And so either way, the charges are burglary, abuse of corpse and desecration, theft or sale of I forgot how I'm supposed to properly say that word. Who knows? I suck at pronunciation, folks. Venerated, I suppose. Venerated. So, objects. And so, you see here, though, member of Allie's Asylum. Hoping you could see. I know it's so hard. Sucks. So, I just happened to look a little bit into this lady, or like this group, come across a comment section where it has listed the groups. There was like 5 of them. Ready? We're going to real quick just flash through them. Real quick. Ready? Share this tab. Ellie's Clinic. Injuries, medical, and more. Okay, maybe not bad. Maybe not. Picture's a little eerie, but maybe not. Okay, then we have Ellie's Asylum. I don't even know that word. I'm sure one of you do. Morbid and more. I'm not going down on these. If you're interested in looking, you can, but I'm not going to. The best I can anyway, because there are just images I didn't ever want to see. I didn't ask for it. I wasn't prepared. But my point is, look at this. 883, over 883,000 members. This is more than us public, or I don't, minds that don't think like this. Right. So here, let me bring you to the next one. Allie's Nest, Gore, Extreme, and more. 230,000 members. Private group. And next one. Group by Allie Lee. The Morgue. Original backup. 96,000 members. Next one. Last one, I believe, of the 5 she had posted. Share this. Allie's Nest backup. 26.9K members. Regardless, the numbers are larger, I think, than the whole lot of us have any stinking idea. And so the reason I bring all this up is because of her post saying another one of ours. And let me bring you back. Member of Allie's Asylum. Antiques and Oddity Swap. I recently came, and this is a post from him, I recently came into possession of more kittens that I didn't read this one, and I'm not happy about it. It just gets worse. It just keeps going. I recently came into possession more kittens that I'll be mummifying and posing, probably posting. Posing. No, you choose to pose. Dude, I'm gonna pose you. I will pose you. I fucking. All right, and then let me bring you over here. This is the same person that had given up Allie's group, right? Her group, our group, another member, whatever. We always wondered when one of our own would end up in the news. Unfortunately, today was that day. Guess what? Breaking news. Not the man we're talking about. Different person. One of our group members has been arrested in connection with the death of her infant child. This isn't a random one-off tragedy either. There were prior felony charges involving child endangerment, yet the child remained in her care. Now that child is gone. Let that sink in. This case is still under investigation, but the facts released so far are disturbing. A baby is dead. Evidence was allegedly moved. Authorities were not notified, and this all comes after a documented history of putting children at risk. Some people simply do not deserve to be parents. This is a harsh reminder that the kind of content we discuss here isn't just shock value. These horrors happen in real life to real children, often behind closed, something it says the rest would be doors. So, like, they're not all out committing these acts. So please make sure I'm very clear on that. They're not. Some just have a darker mindset, perhaps. I don't know because I don't experience that. I don't have that, and I have not done research into it. So I really couldn't explain it too awful far further than this. So it's not that they all do, but they've got to suspect. And to me, it is so dang on dangerous. I feel. I get it. What, strip you of your enjoyment, your hobby to look into this stuff? Wouldn't that be fair? I don't know. It's not fair though to have people keep getting ideas and learning, and the fact some of these people are for real. It's not shock. It's real. Oh, I can't with it, and I can't with it. So anyway, here you go though. There's their photo and the whatever. Boise couple arrested after toddlers found in filth, a filthy house, and then it goes on to explain more. So Brian, 31, and Allison, 28. The date on this one was, oh wow, they look rough. I would assume what, drugs? Perhaps, maybe, possibly are involved. I don't know. Don't quote me, but they look a little rough. Oof. I don't know. Anyways, where is it? Where to go? There. So again, a member of Allie's Asylum, and the date on it was from December 30th. So the back end of last year, they had one just from this group, which isn't even mentioned in the news, not even talked about yet. But they did say like he had many similar groups that he was a part of. Here's just one of them. I think it's a much larger thing than many of us realize. Now let's think about, and I'm not even going to say his name. One moment. Before I totally said the wrong school district, or thought I did last time, and I don't want to do it again. So let me just reconfirm before I go blurting out the wrong thing here. Because I'm not going to say his name. So please, if you all wouldn't mind, don't say his name in the chat because he doesn't deserve that attention. But about to blurt out this school in about 5 seconds if I don't read it. Michigan High School. I'm going with Oxford. Is it Oxford? It is. Good for me. So Oxford high school shooter. Disregard his name. Irrelevant. He's not going to get any of the attention or clout that he wants. At least not coming from us. Not happening. But he was into gore. Even as a teenager, that was the things he was into and watched and whatnot. And then, when he was locked up, they found that he had manipulated his tablet to be able to get back into the gore sites that he once enjoyed when he was free. So what I'm saying is, how much of it stops at just the fascination or curiosity or private enjoyment of viewing these things, and how much goes beyond? We don't hear about it often. That's why this one is so dang on shocking and like, what in the heck? We share a planet with these people. It's scary, 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 and it's disrespectful. It's so harmful for the victims. Like, again, I just feel like they've all been re-victimized all over again, or say it was a natural death. It doesn't matter. Grief is grief, and they're now going through it again because of somebody that's mind isn't right. I don't know. It's anyways, but yeah, there's quite a bit we could go into. But again, I'm gonna go back and just finish off what I was reading with you in regards to interstate transport, stolen goods, and abuse of corpse statues that they have. So with that, it says that there are 30, I believe. Yep, exist in around 30 states. Federal authorities may also pursue cases using state-level abuse of corpse or desecration of human remains statues, and that's about 30 states. So if anybody's interested in us doing a further stream about those exact laws, statutes, and how they would work, we can do it. We can do that. But just to name a couple, they have the statutes and penalties. New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania. Thankfully, he was in Pennsylvania. Kentucky. Key elements of the crime. Intent often requires knowingly or intentionally acting in a prohibited way. Authorization. acts performed under the lawful authority, so by medical examiners, funeral directors, scientists, those are all excluded. And the laws aim to respect the deceased, protect public health, and ensure the integrity of criminal investigations. Now, I still didn't find the post. I have it somewhere in my tabs here, where they're talking about how it's okay to have these things, but in private. Don't show anybody, just private. Also, I wanted to look up something that we are interested in. Anything you will talk about? Oh, thanks. Thanks, Brett. I don't know if that's true, but I appreciate it. Making victims relive their trauma in the worst kind of exploitation. Exactly right, Brittany. Never get squirrels with the rescue I have. Really? I think squirrels are so cute. Now, Nicole has warned me, no, you don't want to do that. But Jeffrey had a little squirrel. I think they're stinking adorable. But I will heed Nicole's advice. Unless I find one outside that needs help, and then I'm just going to have to take care of it. No, legally you can't in New York State. Any animal that's natural habitat is here. You cannot own it as a pet, nor am I licensed for like rehabilitation or what have you. So I would imagine I would likely just take it to the vet and they would go from there with it. Like growing up, we saved all kinds of different little critters, and one of them was a baby skunk. And my parents, we love animals, so they were like, okay, yeah, we're gonna keep it. Let's take it to the vet and get it sack removed, be a pet. And they're the ones that informed, like, no, you can't, you can't do that. Actually, I'm kind of absolutely obsessed with otters, like a lot. They're so stinking cute. And I've seen little baby one that was swimming in the river, and anyway, wouldn't be allowed to have that either. I want one though. Oh, I want one. My gosh, they're so cute. Super cute. But I'm back. Jeffrey. The last pic looked like highlighters that she found. She's driving now. Oh, I think it's a side topic. Oh, did Emmy get any deals? I'm so jealous of her skills with that. Man, I don't have patience for it. I'd probably be really good at it. I'm the person that goes in a store and I have to go down every single one of the aisles because I might miss something. You don't know what you don't know, so I need to know. And I drive myself crazy. I will be starving and getting grumpy. My legs are hurting, and I'm like, I must see what else I'm missing. So I'd probably be very good at it, but I would annoy myself. White squirrels? Oh, I bet they are rare because I've not even heard of them. I don't think. Black squirrels I've heard of. Red, gray, black. Wow. Also, Laura had said to look up the money of, hang on, I have to go back up to that question, or with the search. Something about the profit off of bones. Yeah, it was off bones. I don't know why I was thinking jewelry. Let me look that up real quick. Just real quick. Shoot, I forgot how she asked it. How profitable? You're smart though. Oh, right, Brittany. Hey, you're funny. You know what you're talking about. Keep doing the Lord's work. Oh, I'm so smart the other day. I was so worked up over something and whatever. And anyway, I was happy to be talking to somebody that wasn't going to grind my gears. And they said, I was so happy, so excited. I said, you're a fresh of breath air. And kept on talking and talking and talking. It wasn't until I played back to make sure my audio could be heard that I was like, oh, excuse you? What did I just say? Did I just say a fresh of breath air? I did. I'm an idiot. What an idiot. But anyway, even more of an idiot. My boyfriend said, you can be said that way. No, it can't. That's backwards. He's like, no, that can be said. No, I can't. Laura, well, I mean, it can, but you're wrong and you sound dumb, like I did. With the way AI and deep fakes are and where it's heading, things will be inevitable. Laura, you're spot on. I don't know if you're here or not, but this statement's spot on. Okie, hi, Okie. Hi, I'm sorry if I missed you. Oh, it's so good to see you. Hey, Happy New Year. All right, so let me look it up. What did I say? How profitable is whatever? Profitable? She thinks I'm saying prophetic or something. I don't know. Whatever. Never said I was a good speller. I missed a B. Hey, sissy, what are you yelling about? Oh my gosh, I don't know if you can hear my cat, but boy, how profitable are the sale of human bones? Are the sissy? I don't know what you're yelling about, honey. Are the I'm gonna put bones. It may have been remains, but I'm putting bones right now. Oh, in the U.S. or should I ask every? I'll put in America. We'll do that because it's here. All right. Let's see. Okay, sissy, honey, do I need to help you with something? Share this tab. The sale of human bones in the United States is a lucrative but largely unregulated. That's what I was talking about. An ethically controversial business with a single body generating substantial profit for body brokers. Ugh, shouldn't even be a thing. And this is the AI overview of it. So, I mean, and a single skull sells for thousands of dollars. Dude, he did. I'm telling you, he probably got a stinking Harley with. I mean, I don't know if he did. Please don't quote that. That's a fact. It's not. It's an opinion or more of a question of. Wow. Legality and regulation. There's no federal law in the U.S. that broadly prohibits the sale or possession of human remains other than those of Native Americans, which are protected under the Native American Graves Protection. And I had to look up how to pronounce this word correctly too. Listen, I told you I'm not very smart. I just don't want to say it wrong. I'm trying to be better. Repatriation. All right. Act. The legality largely depends on state and local laws, which are patchwork of regulations, and that's like everything. Everything. It's so frustrating. I mean, I guess there could be pluses to that, but I'm talking more in regards of like the protection of our children and just the patchwork from state to state of what's considered legal age for sexual acts from the different age, like California, as long as there is only so many years, which to me is like only, excuse you, but only so many years difference and blah blah blah. It's very frustrating. Legal in most states. In the majority of states, it is illegal to possess and sell human bones, provided they were legally obtained and not a product of grave robbery. Again, we don't know what we don't know. I don't know how many of you knew that. Did you know that? That's sick. Ah. I'm sorry if I crashed your live stream, but I was so excited to see you. You didn't crash it. We haven't crashed yet. We could, but not yet. You're doing. I love seeing you. Thank you for being. Oh, check. Wait a second. Doodles, hi. What would anyone need human bones for, right? Really though, really. Good question. Like factually straight up, what would you need them for? In my outside of something like they said, scientists, anybody like for research purposes, that's it. Unless you guys can come up with something maybe. It would be a positive reason. I feel like the rest would be nefarious. Outside of anything to do with research. I don't know. State restrictions. Only a few states have laws that broadly prohibit the sale of human remains. Florida, Georgia, Massachusetts, Missouri, New Hampshire, South Carolina, Texas, and Virginia. Some states also have specific restrictions on importing or exporting or selling within state lines. Lack of oversight. There it is. Yep. Oof. I just my bad. Lack of oversight. Primary issue is a significant lack of federal oversight for the non-transplant body parts industry. So body brokers. Is the Uniform Anatomical Gift Act? Gift, yeah. While banning the sale of human tissue for transplant allows reasonable fees for processing, which is a loophole. What? Oh my gosh. This contrasts sharply with the highly regulated organ and tissue transplant sector. I can't even believe there's a sector. Stolen remains, the illegal procurement of remains such as from morgues without donor or family consent is seen in recent Harvest Medical School scandal. That could be the one I was telling you about at the beginning of the stream. That sounds about right. Or from grave sites is a crime, and the possession of such remains is illegal. So that's great. Straight up, this guy, illegal, period. But all these other loopholes and things are sickening and shocking, quite honestly. Drumsticks? Drum roll. Fried green tomatoes. I don't know what we're talking about. Yep, they head on down to the bone store with your coupons. It's crazy. Do we need to start a stew? Yeah, poor B. Hopefully B turned me off and is able to enjoy her soup and not have her stomach turning over it. So, but that's where it is. I'm going to actually do a real quick update look. I want to see if there's anything new here because we know how news. There's his name right there. 2 letters and his name comes up. We know how quickly things can change, and I think that there is going to be more. So, man stole dozens of skeletons from Pennsylvania cemetery. Yep, okay. Pennsylvania man found with over 100 sets of human remains. An hour ago, cops find more. Okay, that's the same thing. 43 minutes ago. Neighbor's reaction, if you guys would like to watch a little reaction on it. Actually, here. I'll bring you over here. All right.
News first at 4. I'm Melena Brown. Forensic units continue to search the home of a Lancaster County man after more than 100 skeletons were discovered in his basement. Fox 43's Matt Kleindenz joins us now from Ephrata with the latest from the investigation.
Melena, police from Delaware and Lancaster counties have been collecting evidence throughout the day from the home of 34-year-old Jonathan Gerlach. At one point, you could see cardboard boxes stacked in the garage of the Washington Avenue home. Neighbors I spoke to say they were stunned when they found out what was in the house. Forensic teams continue pulling remains from this Ephrata home as they work to investigate what they say is a horror movie come to life.
It's eerie. I mean, my bedroom window's right there, 50 feet away from a graveyard.
This week, Delaware County Police are
right with the statement of what? Yeah. I bet that there's at least one of us in here that have ourselves our very own strange neighbor that we aren't aware of yet. It's like not beyond strange.
Arrested 34-year-old Jonathan Gerlach after more than 100 skeletons were discovered in his Washington Avenue home. Kim Hackman, who owns a beauty salon across the street, says she and her neighbors were stunned when they heard about Gerlach's arrest.
I didn't know anything, honest, just from seeing him outside. Very quiet. There was never any police activity over there.
Charles Rothermel says it was scary hearing about the skeletons, adding he and his 4 children live just a few doors down. He recalls walking by Gerlach's garage last year and noticing flies along the windows.
It was more than 5. It was at least 20, 30 on each window. I figured it was a garage that they were getting in through somewhere and they couldn't get out, and now finding out that there was all those remains in there, it makes sense.
According to
he is like me. That's where my brain would have went. Okay, it might have first went to, is there something like decomposing in there because of what I cover and look into so much? Maybe would have been first thought, but the part of me that is always like, no, benefit of the doubt. Let's think like a little more rational. You would expect it to be rational thinking. Nah, that's a good thought. They got in somehow and they couldn't get out. Flies aren't the smartest. Now to find this out? Yeah, oh yeah. I remember when I had an awful smell that I could smell in my apartment many years back now, and was like, "What is that smell? What is going on?" I could not locate it. I couldn't find the source. I didn't understand, like, how do I fix this problem if I can't find the problem? So it was horrific, awful, terrible. Anyway, come to find out, fast forward, I get off work and come home, and there's lights everywhere flashing and cameras taking pictures and police that are they were gonna hold the scene till the next day too. So on and so on and whatever. Come to find out, it was an upstairs kitty corner, not even directly above, but above in kitty corner neighbor that had been lying deceased for at least 10 days. And then I was talking to my neighbor that's like next to me, out standing in the hall. No warning. Here they come, body bag right down the stairwell, past me. It's a smell you'll never, ever, ever forget it. And you know if you know. It was horrific. And I worked at a restaurant that sold steak. And I was ill at work for the next week, smelling the cooking steak. Oh, I cannot. So to realize after that what you're smelling, the air you're breathing, is decomposition, like, um, so yeah, I feel for all of these neighbors that have been living next to it and not knowing, and now they're learning, and I just can't. To me, it's their own form of being a victim to this situation. I wish people would realize that, like, when any crime is committed, it isn't ever only committed to that one individual or pet or animal thing or person that you've done it to. I wish people would realize it goes so deep, the layers of people that are affected by your actions. And I know some just don't care, or they love it. They love that it affects so many people. I just can't think, I can't get on board with it. It's upsetting and it hurts me for all of these people affected by actions of others. Selfish, disrespectful actions of others.
To court documents, Gerlach allegedly vandalized dozens of graves at the Mount Moriah Cemetery in Delaware County, as well as another cemetery in Luzerne County. Debbie Maloney says the crime hits close to home, adding that her parents are buried not too far from the Mount Moriah Cemetery.
He's living down the street from where I live, yet what he did in my neighborhood that I'm originally from, it just all came together.
Neighbors say the case will continue to stick with the Ephrata community for years to come.
The fact that we're only feet away from it and stuff, we're not going to forget it anytime soon.
Investigators also say that Gerlach was a member of a human skull and bone collecting group on Facebook.
Okay, hold up. I'm more upset. Do you see the little one? What about the first little one? Okay? Tell me this isn't going to have a lasting effect on these two little ones that are just walking behind the news right now, hearing them talk about these human skull and bone collecting groups on Facebook. Whether their curiosity will take them to go search it, I don't know. To hear about it on the news, likely they already have it. It's probably why they look like they're curious. They're not just going for a stroll in winter in Pennsylvania. Okay? So, right, that's really good for their age, for the development of their brains to be consuming. It's something that us as adults can't wrap our brain around. Now, think of their age, their brains, and how they're going to process this. Just makes me really mad. Makes me really, really mad.
Human skull and bone collecting group on Facebook and found evidence of a suspected sale he made to another member of the group. Milena?
Fox 43's Matt Kleindens reporting. Thanks so much, Matt. Authorities in Delaware County.
Matt reminds me of somebody that if we knew what they look like on YouTube, we might think he looks like that, but I don't know. I don't know. It just makes me giggle. Okay.
Say that there is a lot to piece together due to the scope of this investigation and that it'll be, quote, quite some time before the case is closed. They also reminded people of the emotional side of a case like this and the toll it can have on those involved.
We all have loved ones that passed. Like, rest in peace is rest in peace. And this is definitely something that tears at your heartstrings.
Delaware and Lancaster County officials are working to date and identify all of the remains and potentially reach out to affected families.
Well, some major developments today in a story making national headlines. A grave robber targets an abandoned Delaware County.
Heck yeah, I talked to myself, guys. Thank you. Sorry. Oh my gosh, I just told you guys a whole story. Big one. Big story. Don't know what it was. Doesn't matter. Let's move along. I totally was muted. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Cemetery taking jewelry, bones, and entire bodies from their resting places.
The police chief in Yeadon says his detectives walked into a horror movie come to life. Now, new court documents reveal what tipped off investigators and what the suspect allegedly admitted to investigators. This now goes beyond Delco, with investigators heading to Ephrata to serve a search warrant.
And we do have team coverage tonight for you of this investigation. Let's zero in on the investigation right now. CBS Philadelphia chief investigative reporter Joe Holden starting us off. Joe.
And good evening. This is a shocking case. Investigators tell me they've seen nothing like it in the past. A man named Jonathan Gerlach broke into an unknown number of graves, mausoleums, and above-ground vaults here at Mount Moriah Cemetery and stole human remains, according to investigators. We have video into our newsroom in the last hour showing investigators crawling about Gerlach's home in Ephrata. Police confirm the coroner there from Lancaster County is removing remains and will hold them until they are positively identified. They also confirm in court papers additional bones and 8 corpses were discovered in a storage locker. Meanwhile, here at Mount Moriah, the graves Gerlach allegedly preyed on, we're talking about old ornate mausoleums and large crypt-like vaults, many from the 1800s. They allege he used a crowbar, ropes to rappel, and ladders to climb down into and access caskets. Police say he then broke into the caskets and stole entire sets of human remains. Police in November got a tip, they say, from the Friends of Mount Moriah. This is an abandoned cemetery that sits on the Yeadon and Southwest Philadelphia line. Investigators say they were able to lift DNA off an energy drink can that was left behind. Police then set up a sting and arrested Gerlach after they say he broke into even more graves. He was found to be in possession of human remains when taken into custody, according to investigators. The chief of Yeadon police said they wanted to catch Gerlach red-handed. Police say Gerlach admitted to taking 30 sets of remains from Mount Moriah and storing them inside his Ephrata home.
You know, it was horrendous. Rest in peace means rest in peace. And unfortunately, these people are not resting in peace anymore. And we're trying to put this all back together as best as we can.
Some of the graves we saw today were visibly disturbed and some were even still open. The Baker Mausoleum had fresh concrete ceiling and entryway. At this resting place, Gerlach is alleged to have taken 16 sets of remains. So investigators are now beginning to identify the remains in hopes to return them to their rightful resting places. Yeadon police want to hear from family members who know that their loved ones are buried in 2 distinct locations here, mausoleums and those above ground crypts/vaults. They have an email address that they would like people to reach out to. We have that for you right now at cbsphiladelphia.com. Live outside Mount Moriah Cemetery.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look that up then and see if I can get that address so we can put that out. Wow. That sounds like maybe earlier when I was trying to say, like, how did they figure this out? Are they gonna have to take DNA from people who know their loved one was buried or at these locations and then try to extract DNA from the bones? The trauma layers continue. awful.
Commentary Joe Holden, CBS News, Philadelphia.
All right, Joe, thank you so much. Well, you know, after uncovering some of the disturbing details that we're hearing about in this case that Joe just talked about, we learned that selling and buying human bones is perfectly legal in most states.
And
Yeah, we just learned that too. Isn't it crazy? All right. I'm not the only one that didn't know that then. That's crazy. That's crazy. Hey.
investigative reporter Liz Crawford looked into this for us. Wow. That's
Yeah, you know, it's the majority of states, unless, of course, there is a crime involved. Now, we're told that someone who buys any type of human remains that has been obtained illegally could also face charges. But there appear to be ways to legitimately purchase human bones and other items. Now, after a simple internet.
So, Doodle, there's the answer on that for sure. That if they're able to track down the people that made the purchases from him, being that a crime was committed, to get the bones that he sold to him, they could be charged now too. So that's a for sure. Now whether they will, I saw someone saying something in here about the price too. Boys Ranch? Oh my goodness. I don't even think I've heard of that one, Brett. Brett, is it okay if I call you Brett? Brittany? I'm sorry. If you don't like Brett, please let me know. I won't be upset. I just want to be respectful when I refer to y'all. Twisty, good to see ya. Legal? Yeah, legal. I mean, not if you go and do what he did, you know, like the grave robbery, things like that. If you obtained them illegally, then of course the sale of them would be illegal. But wow.
Search. We found a handful of companies that sell human bones of all kinds. On the site johnsbones.com, it says bones are collected for educational and artistic purposes, and they strive to make the ability to study skeletal remains accessible to all. The founder of the company said they mostly sell to schools and universities, and they get thousands of requests a month from people looking to sell bones, but they only...
All right, sorry, I have a thought on that too. Educational, agree. Artistic? I think you should be using imitation in my own personal, uptight, ethical opinion, because it's just so disrespectful. Unless I have one exception. The person whose remains they are were themselves also extremely artistic, and they have given permission, consent. Then fine. I mean, who am I to say no at that point? But outside of that, I think that would be so disrespectful. But that's just my opinion.
Only buy medically prepared remains.
The color, the patina, the hardware, and any type of stamps or seals that would show that would be medically prepared by one of the original companies. If we do not see this indicators in the bones, we do not work with those types of remains.
Well, and I'll tell you, the prices for many of these items have a very wide range, some very expensive. We saw human skulls for up to $4,000, a femur bone for $260, a full skeleton up to 10 grand. By the way, we did find out today that some websites like Facebook and eBay have banned the sale of human remains over the years. So really.
Okay, so they pretty much just hit on literally everything we did. Between Laura talking about looking up the price, which I never got a set price on it, but they just gave it to us. It's very profitable. Me looking up whether it's even legal to do. Apparently, yes. If they're legally obtained. And then the Facebook topic, the platforms. Apparently, they've banned some of it. But how do you know? How do they know? And listen, I'm sorry, I don't give a ton of credit to Facebook that they're like super responsible in their monitoring of their platform. There's some of the most horrific crimes, and mainly I'm thinking of like children, begin and or completely take place through their platform. So I'm sorry that I don't have a ton of faith in that. It's good to hear allegedly that they are doing something about it, but I don't know. It's probably the end of the video here now.
Have banned the sale of human remains over the years. So really fascinating.
Wow.
Really is. Who would have thought there's a market for something like this? Yeah.
Wow, I'm just shaking my head the whole time. Liz, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly. Shaking your head. What? Wow. Here's another Nick Reiner. Wow. Oh gosh, I'm not even getting into it. Portland police press conference on a border agent shooting 2 people in Oregon. It's a topic I don't want to talk about. Want to get me all frustrated. But wow. So I don't know. Hope we feel like we learned something, and I don't know what's going to come of it. I do suspect something may come down the line for his significant other. I think Jeffrey's pretty right with some of the charges he mentioned that could possibly be laid on her. And I think that there's obviously, now that they're investigating another location that has reported having bodies taken, and seeing if he's connected to it. So that's only one. There may be more coming down the line. So there will definitely be more to update on this as it continues. So I'll keep up with it. And I said earlier, I'm working towards like a idea on how to be able to give some more of these updates on all of the cases we previously covered. So we're going to get to that at some point. Let me take you off of that. And then, do you have any questions? Is there anything else you guys can think of that I should look into? Or, and if it's something that I need to actually research, take time with, I'll do that once we get off. Or if it's something quicker, let me know. I need to find, and I don't know if I will. Pretty sure I deleted the outro, my outro that I had, or something somehow. I'm not really sure what I did. I don't really know. I did something wrong though. That's why I was a bit late coming on. I'm not really sure what I did. I don't know. Hang on. Let me come over real quick again. I'm gonna see. Oh wait. This could be it. Is this it? I don't know. Let's see real quick. Hold on one moment and see if this looks like the right one. Yeah, sure. Sure. All right. I don't know how I managed to do that. That's a little frustrating. I'm not gonna even pretend it. It's not. I don't know how that happened. Hi, Emmy. Good afternoon. Happy Friday. Okay, sissy. We hear ya. At least I do. A team of anthropology students actually found the first bones. I'm missing something. The boy. Okay. From the ranch. What is it? White House. Okay, the boys at the ranch. The White House boys who ran away didn't really run away. They were killed and buried in the property. Whoa. Wow. If anyone's interested in the Florida case, Google White House boys, Florida. Wow, that's interesting. I'm just seeing if you guys, hold on, I didn't save that. All right. Okay. Oh, my Lanta, I think I found it. I can't believe it. I can't even believe it. I just found him. What I couldn't find earlier, there it is. I'm telling you, it wasn't an option when I looked earlier. I don't think. It's not even an updated outro either. It's really nothing. It's really nothing special. So I apologize for wasting time. I am waiting though to just make sure you guys don't have any questions. Someone cover the Florida case. It's insane. Hey, Tenny. Just up from a nap and missed this. It is insane. Insane. It's just wow. Very old case. The boys that ran away didn't really run away. That is incredible. Ask AI. It knows everything. Not. Oh man. AI is really, really scary though. Like mention of like the AI, the deep fakes and all of that. So I mean, I talked about it a couple years ago in regards to just children and protection, online safety and whatnot. It's advancing so quickly. It's terrifying. All right, come back over. I do believe I have one other video in here. Yeah, I do. Okay, that's good for me. So what I am gonna do is refind wherever I just put that. Where'd I put it? Oh my gosh. You try to be organized. I don't know. Any of you that like do a lot of stuff online, you try to be organized with where you put stuff, but then it's still there's just so much stuff, you're still lost. I don't know if anybody can relate, but it frustrates me so bad. I don't even know where I just saved that, you guys. Where'd I save it? I don't know. I really. Oh, channel video? That sounds right. Yep. Okay, look at that. We did it. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, well, cool story. Anyways, not seeing any specific live chat reminder. I know about that too. I have an AI live in research craziness. Grandma Sherry, I would really love, 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 love to see you do a stream. I know when I get, and we've talked, but I still stand in where I stood before. I really thoroughly enjoy your streams and I miss them. So no pressure if it's something you don't want to do, obviously. I would ask that. But if you get a little desire, I would love it. I would. Mm. But thank you so much for being here and at least modding. I love that too. But yeah, I love to catch your stream. Bones is fake as well. Lots of misinformation. Oh yeah, that's the show Bones. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Twisty misses him too. See? Don't ruin it for us, Emmy. Ah, thanks, Twisty. Thank you. All right, well, I'm going to show you a cute video. Again, I also have a concept set up for this that I'm not even done with either, but doesn't matter. So the cute video I'm going to show you as we head out to kind of just take the edge off of the horrific, disgusting topic we just covered that is still evolving is actually one of my own little kitties. When she was younger, I was cleaning and I had a tablet playing, like TikTok apparently. And anyways, I turn around as this because it kept replaying. But anyway, I turn around and my kitten, one of them was Mars, it just happened to be Mars, was sitting on the bed over the tablet watching the video. And I just thought it was so cute. So anyway, that's the cute video I'm going to send you guys with tonight. But I appreciate you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the support. Words aren't, they don't exist for how much I truly appreciate those of you that have supported me over the years. And especially with me being gone for so long. And I can't thank you enough. Thanks, staff. Thanks for being here so much. Thank you, everybody. All right, I'll send you out and we'll do another update on this one as they come along. I might do a post if they do end up arresting the significant other or something like that, rather than holding you up, or just do a short maybe. But Sissy's saying goodbye if you can hear her. Did you hear that? I hope not. I hope not. But Sissy's saying goodbye. Sissy, they got it. She does long outros just like me. We just can't shut up. All right, for real. I'm sending you out of here. Have a good one, everybody. Happy New Year. I'll catch you next time. Okay, love you. Bye.